we doing, you good people? Welcome to Bitman TV. I'm going to do a review of AEW week commencing 16th of January for AEW Rampage and then AEW Dynamite. Rampage starts with Juice Robinson versus Darby Allin for the TNT World Championship. Really decent match, a decent match there. Nice little solid match there. But in the end, Darby gets the win. Then we had the Book of Hobbs basically saying he's going to hurt everybody. Hurt is coming. Hurt. So let's see what happens. I want to see with the TNT Championship or something, because he's really good. They should give him something. Then the Acclaim came out to cement their scissors in like the scissor cement in Hollywood, and then the Gun Con came out and ruined everything basically. So yeah, I think it's going to turn that into a brawl. Then we had Swerve and his affiliates with P Diddy's son in the back, talking about, obviously he's got the affiliates. They're saying Swerve the guy to watch out for in 2023. And I personally think Swerve is one of the best things in AEW right now. His match work, the things he does in the ring and outside the ring, he is awesome. So big up to Swerve. Then we had the House of Black versus Ortiz and Eddie. Really good match. But in the end, the House of Black wins. So it was a really good match. Then Jade Cargill has confirmed now that Red Velvet is now out of the Baddies crew. So we'll see what happens there. Then we had Paul Hasta, whatever his name is a guy who got an Oscar. He's basically saying he's a big wrestling fan, a big AEW fan. And then Dan Houser comes out and goes he should get a reward for whatever reason. And then Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Lethal and the crew come out. And then the actor, Paul Hasta, whatever his name is, gets a hit in the head with a guitar for his trouble. So thank you for coming. Then in the main event of the evening, it's Ty Mello and Anna Jay versus Ruby Soho and Willow in a hardcore women's match. There was blood, there was tacks, there was tables, there was a power driver through a table off the apron. There was power bombs through tables, there was tacks, there was blood. It was actually a really entertaining match. But in the end, Ruby Soho wins, and you should go and watch that match. It was really good. So let's move on to Dynamite. Dynamite started with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal for the All Atlantic Championship. Really good match, but in the end, Cassidy won. Then we had Top Flight versus the Young Bucks. Go and watch this match. This is tag team excellence in its best. Go and watch it, that's all I'm going to say. But it was a massive upset because Top Flight actually won. Wow. Then we had the Gun Club coming out with the Acclaims. Obviously, it turned into a big brawl back and forth, blah, 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 blah. Then we had Hangman and Adam Page in the back, basically showing a bit of respect to Moxley. It looked like they could form some kind of tag team. I don't know, you seem like you wanted to talk to Moxley, but he just said he's ready to face Moxley anytime he needs to. And it looks like, I think his sights are set back on getting the AEW World Championship. Then we had Ricky Starks versus Jake Hager. Really good match, but Jake Hager got beat by Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks is on a roll right now. Then we had Chris Jericho said he wants a tag team match next week with himself and either Sammy Guevara or Danny Garcia versus Action and Ricky Starks. But Danny's going to have a match on the Rampage. Depending on the outcome, will depend if he's going to be in the tag team match. So we'll see what happens. Then probably one of the matches of the night was a tag team match from earlier, but Bryan Danielson versus Bandido. If you haven't seen this match, go and watch it. This match was absolutely awesome. It was a solid match. Bandido actually pulled out a lot of moves here and a lot of resistance to Bryan Danielson. But in the end, Bryan Danielson has to stay intact in his winning streak leading up to February 8th, 2023, and he got the victory. After he got the victory, MJF comes on as Titantron and says, he's got a mask on right now, but soon he's going to take that mask off and he's going to be a monster. And he feels unappreciated. So we will see what happens. And then it says Bryan Danielson next week will face Brian Cage. So we will see what happens there. Brian Cage is a powerhouse. And then Brian Cage in an interview backstage when he's approached by MJF. MJF hits it, like, gives him a bag of money to say to, I know he doesn't care if he wins or he loses against Bryan Danielson, but he just wants him to hurt him. And then he gives him some money and he slaps him as well because he wants his anger, wants him to be angry. And then we had Willow versus Toni Storm in a really good match, which Toni Storm won. And then Saraya, by the help of Saraya, because Saraya did the distraction, and then they just started beating down Willow. So it looks like Saraya and Tony have turned heel because Ruby Soho came out for the save. Then in the main event of the evening, it was Darby Allin versus Kushida. I think his name is Kushida for the TNT Championship. Really good match. Go and watch it. It was excellent. But in the end, Darby Allin still is your TNT champion. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching.